Good morning. I'm late. I'm 6 minutes late. I'm sorry about that. Gosh, I have had a go today. Today has been crazy. I get to my screen. Okay, now can I see if my mic's working? Hello. Okay, my mic's working. It's a little loud. I don't understand. You guys know better than I do, but I don't understand the microphone situation. So when I turn it up, like if I really get into it, it goes all the way to the end. I don't typically speak really, really loud. That's not really what I do. So I don't know. I'm not a good microphone person. Couple things today to start. Number one, just learning stuff. So if you are going online in 10 minutes, it'd be a good idea if you didn't pick at your face or something. That'd be good. I have this little mark here. A little dry skin. It's driving me nuts. So, as you know, when I start a live stream, I have a terrible time. I'm all confused, disoriented. I've definitely got some news for you tomorrow. I can't tell you today though. It's not exciting. It's not good, but it is news. I don't know. I try. Anyway, let's talk about some cleanup things. Number one, as you know, I'm a real estate agent, a real estate broker in St. Louis, Missouri. I don't have a good elevator speech right now. I'm gonna work on it. It says, if you don't know who I am, my name is John Shank, and I'm a real estate broker in St. Louis, Missouri, the founder of Deerwood Realty. I like live streaming. We have videos every day on YouTube. We have a podcast. We talk about real estate and related things. We talk about the news. We talk about maybe how to look at the news within the real estate industry, especially on the residential side. I do some commercial, but not very much. I only have so many hours in the day. But yeah, if you like real estate news, if you like to kind of know a little bit or get a better insight about what's going on in the residential world, not just in St. Louis, but across the United States. I mean, we can look at trends in the United States, so that's no big deal. You should probably consider subscribing. You should probably consider hitting the like button, commenting on my videos, telling me I'm an idiot, telling me I'm right. But I've got this platform now, and that's the funny thing about the word is you can also be deplatformed. So as you know, I don't have a lot of confidence in my ability to stay on YouTube by just reading the news or just saying something for the long term. I suspect that I'll say something at some point in time that'll be counter to what I'm allowed to say, and I will be gone. I'm working on a second. I don't ever have that worry about podcasting, because if they get rid of me on one podcast, there's like 17 other distributions. Plus, you can just go to the website. And maybe the best, well, that's going to be at deerwoodrealtystl.com. Now, maybe the better way to do it if I get older is figure out a way to put a player on the website and then run everything through the website. And then you don't even have to search. You can just go straight to the link and you'd have it. I'm working on putting together a mailing list, not because I want to spam you with all kinds of stupid offers and stuff like that, but I just want to be able to stay in touch with my community. We talked about locals. I do have a locals. It's Deerwood Realty at locals.com or deerwoodrealty.locals.com. I'm not good at putting stuff over there. At the same time, if I'm not careful, I could spend all day, every day on video and never do any real estate. And I'm not going to criticize people that stream and they're successful at streaming. But if you're going to work and I'm a one-man show. I have one other agent. I mean, it's not easy to get everything done in a day. And I never do, by the way. Never get everything done. So, I don't know what to, I'm looking at that thing. Ugh. I don't know what to do about that, other than just tell you that I'm making an effort, and hopefully you'll like it. what day are we on? I'm going to go look at the days we're on live streaming real quick, just a second. So we're on day 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We're on day 11 straight of live streams. I'm going to make a video at some point in time, like I live stream for 30 days in a row. Here's what happened. And what's going to be funny is there's not, so far, there's nothing that's going to happen because no one chats with me. No one ever sees my content. And I just basically disappear. And you can say, well, you need better titles. That's not going to help. There's no one out there. When I see the impressions, it's less than 1,000 a day. So you can have all the titles you want. You can have all the video you want, the thumbnails. You're not being seen. Okay. And then you say, well, once Google figures out your audience, then you'll be seen. Well, Google's had 3 months to figure out my audience, and we're not doing real well. So, and then you say, well, the quality of your videos is terrible. You know, maybe it is. Maybe it is. I don't know. When I look at videos, when I watch stuff on YouTube, I tend to navigate towards streamers. I tend to navigate towards people that aren't highly editing their videos because I don't like all that polish. It's fake. It's just me. I'm allowed to say it on my live stream. I don't like it. Now, if I did change and put out polished videos and it helped my, my viewership, well then fine. But right now, I don't have the ability to edit all this stuff and clean it up. And I don't know that anybody that would want to watch that anyway. I certainly wouldn't. Now, been watching this other streamer, younger fellow in his 20s maybe. He's killing it. He's doing a fantastic job. And I don't know. Part of me says, "Hey, man, you're too old to stream, and really have any sort of chance at it." 44 years old, I don't know. I'm embracing the technology that I see in front of me, and I think it makes a lot of sense. Maybe it doesn't. So who knows? Plus, there's been this part of me that hasn't ever been able to really get where it needs to be, and there's like some sort of need to express myself, or some sort of need to debate topics online, or like at least get out of my own box, my own cage, and get out there. And not that, if you ever look at Twitter and read the comments, wow, not good, not good. And then you wonder, are they bots, or are they, real people, or, and then should how many voices should it matter? Like, if one person says something bad or mean-spirited, does that mean that like there's 1,000 other people that think it's fine? Or, it's a very fascinating medium. So my goal is to be able to alliterate my thoughts in a public way, so that I can be sharper. If you always got thoughts bouncing around your head and you never ever express them in any sort of way that, you never vocalize them or anything, and you never write them down, you're just going through life. I don't know. And then, so ask me what my stream was about yesterday. I have no idea. I can't tell you. I have no idea. I don't remember. Ask me what my video was about yesterday. I did a video. It wasn't about the crossbow, because that really made me upset. It was about the National Association of Realtors and the Department of Justice fighting. That's what it was about. So I have some memory. It's just not great. So there's so much I want to tell you, but I can't tell you today. I'm really sorry. One of the things I wanted to talk about was an annoyance, and I wanted to kind of go over it with you and see what you thought. And that is, I'm a real estate agent, as we've discussed. And then, like in good radio, do you say "as we've discussed" because you already, your audience is already listening? They don't need to know that because they were here. But anyway, I believe that there's more money in marketing to real estate agents than there is actually being a real estate agent. I think most people have made that jump in their minds. So one of the most interesting things that I'm being marketed with is health insurance, or Obamacare. And I don't understand it. I mean that nicely. I don't understand it. And the reason why I don't understand it is I'm being texted on my personal phone. I'm being texted on my work phone. I'm being texted at least 3 times a day by different phone numbers and different companies. And all of them, I got one pulled up because they've already texted me this morning. And you say, well, it's just, okay, so 846, I got one. It says the National Association of Realtors new health plans available. Big test counts for early enrollment, 50% less than market plans. Call, this number, and then it says stop 10. So I'm going to hit stop because I don't need health insurance. I don't need, and then it says the fascinating thing. So I'm doing it right now as we speak. It says you replied with the word stop, which blocks all text sent from this number. Text back unstopped to receive messages again. Why would I want to receive these messages again? I don't need health insurance. And there's so many people texting me daily about health insurance that I don't know. I can't tell you who these people are. I have no idea. I mean, someone says they're Jane. I don't know if they're Jane or Jill or Mary or anything. I have no idea. So, how do I translate that to real estate? Well, my aunt gets these texts that says, well, I want to buy your house. And she's like, well, how do they do that? She's like, I don't want to sell my house. And it's like, well, your number's somewhere online, and they figured it out, and they text everyone. Then she gets the postcards, and they got a picture of her house. How do they get the picture on my house? Did they stand outside and take? No, that's Google Maps. Is it effective? Well, my aunt's talking about it, so I guess, and I'm talking about it. But ways in which to market to people, I think, should be a topic on of real estate, and especially on Deerwood Realty, because my marketing has not been successful by any stretch of the imagination. It's not been successful for a couple of reasons, and one of them we'll go over today. I have an ethical stance that makes it difficult for me to do business at times. And as we see I mean, I'm not stupid. I know how people market, but it's not how I want to market. And you say, well, here's the number one rule of marketing. You have to know what your customers want and then market to that. You can't, they don't care about what you want. No one cares about you, which is true. No one cares about me, and I'm okay with that. And then by extension, if no one cares about you in marketing, they not care about you in politics. Well, I can tell you for a fact they don't care about you in politics. What about big corporations? No, don't care about you. So how about the school district? Does the school district care about you, the parent? They say they do. But I mean, really care. Actually mean it, not just say it. Now, it falls back to your family. And then in your family, it's like, how many people in there care about you? I believe my family cares about me. I believe everyone does. So I guess where I'm at is the family's pretty important, and if that's the only group of people that cares about you. I mean, your friends. I have lots of friends that come and go. But anyway, Facebook friends. I had a post on Facebook yesterday, and I really thought it was going to go well. And what it was I was showing houses over the weekend, and this house was nice. But when I went through the back door from the patio to the inside, there was what looked to be blood all over the door. And as a real estate agent, I don't particularly like to see blood on a door. And so I took a picture and I posted it yesterday. Fairly innocuous, like, hey, pro tip, best to not have your door look like a crime scene. Oh, it's funny. I don't guess anybody got my humor, though. It's the same thing as these live streams. Nobody's getting the humor. It's funny to me, but it's not funny to anybody else. But it should be. Just know that you're in on it. That's the part that's funny. Anyway, uh, I have a social media manager. She does a great job for what she's been given. I go back and forth with, do I care about social media or do I not? I know that sounds strange, but like I saw yesterday, I used to average Deerwood Realty just generally on Facebook. Well, I don't know if we've talked about this particularly in this medium, but as a real estate agent, Facebook and Google pretty much lock me down from where I'm able to advertise. I'm only able to advertise 15 miles around a radius around my office. And then I'm not allowed to do it by zip code. I'm not allowed to do it for any other reason, age, demographics, anything like that, because they were sued out of their gourds a couple years back for fair housing violations, because people basically put stuff on Facebook that's illegal, but they're not versed in the real estate in the rules we have, and they don't, so they would post things like, no, people over 55 only, and all kinds of bad stuff. As a real estate agent, I'm not allowed to do any of that stuff, and I don't want to do any of the bad stuff either. Sometimes it gets excessive. For instance, if there was a house by the old cathedral in St. Louis, okay, the old cathedral is literally next to the arch, so there's no houses there. But if you were to say the house is next to the old cathedral, in theory, that's saying that, that only Catholic people can buy here or rent here, which is ridiculous. And I'm not Catholic, so it doesn't, I'm just pointing out that you're not allowed to do that. But anyway, so you go on Facebook and you can't market for anything. But what did Facebook and Google do? It's something I think really sketchy, but what do you expect out of the mega corporations these days? They contracted with about 10 different real estate advertising providers. So like Boomtown, and there's a couple others. And then they can go ahead and advertise by zip code. They can advertise by demographics because they've been considered, they're trusted. Where's my other hand? That's this one. Oh, here we go. Gosh, where is it? There it is. They've been considered trusted vendors. It's okay for them to do it, but you can't. Is it hypocrisy? I think so. Does hypocrisy drive me insane? Yes. Should it? I don't know. I'm getting old. I really don't feel like I don't know. You can my wife is very good at relevance arguments, and she's very good at arguments like, well, you did it, so it must be okay. So I look at things and say, like, I don't like the hypocrisy, but somebody online or somebody will say, well, you do it too, so it's fine. Whatever. It's always been a bizarre argument to me, but what are you gonna do? So, like I said, so she markets on Facebook for me, my social media manager, markets on Instagram, markets on, not really on Twitter, because Twitter for realtors is strange. I'm working on it. I'm changing it up a little bit. I just haven't gotten to it yet. But anyway, I do see other real estate agents market on Facebook, and when they do, what I see basically is people like just screaming at them, get off my news feed. I hate you. Go to hell. Kill yourself. So like, I don't really want to be part of that group. By that group, I mean the group being told to go kill themselves. It's just not who I am. I don't particularly need that in my life. I prefer to be kind of positive and upbeat. So, lead generation this year has been terrible. I used to do a couple things that took a lot of time. That it didn't work. Nothing's worked for me. So, will this work? I don't know. I don't really care. I need an outlet. So, I haven't checked Odyssey this morning. I got an appointment at 11 that I have to be at. I haven't checked Odyssey yet today to see if I've been approved for uploading on Odyssey. But boy, if I would be, I sure would like that. I got to be careful because I'm being texted out of my comfort zone. Like I said, I got this meeting at 11, so I have to be careful. Let me just check. Okay. So what's going on with you guys today? Where are you spending your time? What are you doing? You going to work from home? I want to get into something that's a massive topic for me. I don't know how long it's going to take to go over, but it's a massive topic in the sense that there's many, many different layers to it. And I want to go over it with you because I want you to know what I'm thinking about it. And maybe that describes a little bit of who I am. And I was going to do something completely different today. But then I saw this article and how it relates to my life, how it relates to my business. And I thought it would be just fantastic. So if you ever heard of this company called better.com, I have not heard of the company. I know nothing about them. And the first time I heard about them was a negative piece of press. And so I'm going to go through it in a time way, like a timeline. And we're just going to go through every single part of it. And this is kind of the real estate industry in a whole for me as a whole. I'm sorry, not in a whole, as a whole for me. So here we go. Okay. Better.com lays off LOs, which are loan officers. So it's in the real estate sphere, and then secures a $750 million cash injection. So I can go on a different screen, but I'm going to go right here and I'm going to go through it. And it says, digital lender hopes to increase market penetration in purchase mortgages. Okay. And this was written on December 1st, 2021. I've got all the links down in the description, and or I will after the live stream. I'm going to change up the link so that you can see it. Okay, so it says digital marketing lender better.com is laying off 9% of its workforce ahead of a $750 million cash injection from financial backers SoftBank Group. Now, they're one of the largest private equity companies in the world. But just the first sentence, better.com, don't know what they are, but it says digital marketing lender. So I'm guessing like a, what's the one? The big one in Cleveland, Quicken.com. Okay. It's laying off ahead of $750 million. So let me understand this. You're getting $750 million, but you're laying off 9% of your workforce before that, then. And says, company officials say the move will allow refi heavy better, so they handle a lot of refinancing apparently, to increase its strength in a mortgage market that is increasingly becoming purchase funded. Now, this article makes no sense in the first line because the mortgage market is different than the real estate market. So that's fine. Okay, but it's related to real estate. And how can you not realize that you're becoming increasingly purchase focused? If you can't figure out that home purchases are better than they've ever been in the history of the United States right now, you really are not great. Now, it says the layoffs were announced by the New York-based company on Tuesday in a Zoom meeting with the CEO, whoever. I'm just going to go with Garg, and I could be pronouncing that wrong. But Garg comes into play quite a bit. But I mean, the two paragraphs or two sentences put together here, it sounds rather innocuous. So these people were laid off 9%. Now, how many people is 9%? Don't know. It says sources told HousingWire that refi-focused salaried loan officers made up the majority of the hundreds of employees who received pink slips. Better's loan officers do not receive commissions. And so that's where it gets fascinating. In real estate, for years, there's been an argument, should people be paid a salary to do their job or should they be paid a commission? The thought is that the commission is the best way to go for, anybody that's in the business, but people that aren't in the business think that a salary is the best way to go. Let me just explain to you my perspective as a real estate broker. I would prefer to be a commissioned broker. You say, well, John, what happens when you don't make any money? I starve. Okay. Well, John, but that's bad, right, John? Yes. It's bad to starve. Okay. But I don't have any limits on my income. Okay. So if I sell 40 houses in a year, I make all that money. It's mine. And that's the difference between salaried and commission. If I go work for like a Redfin, I make a set amount of money. If I sell 50 houses, I make, X amount of dollars, and it's far less than what I would make if I actually did it in commission. It's a risky move, but it's the one I do. Mortgage companies do the same thing, although their commission structure is different. For instance, one of my friends has a cap, which to me makes no sense. Why would you work for a company on commission and then have a cap? Well, it turns out he gets other benefits. The thought is that a salaried company will do better than a commission-based company because they can restrict the wages of those people working there. Now, that's the thought. Now, does it work out that way? No, not necessarily. If no one's doing any business, if there's no hunger to do business, these people just sit on the rolls and don't do anything. That's expensive. So I don't have a universal hatred for someone that, is on a salary in my business. I understand the logic. I just don't want to be a part of it. And thankfully, I've not had to. Okay. So it says, following layoffs, the company expects to have close to 9,000 employees at the end of the year. Better confirmed the layoffs, but wouldn't discuss them on record. The company plans to automate some of its refi processes and is now focused on purchase operations, one company official who requested anonymity set. Now, these people at better.com are leaking like a sieve. I mean, look at all these people. Okay, in November, Better disclosed to the Security and Exchange Commission that it projected it would lose between $85 and $100 million in the third quarter, and that losses would likely widen in the fourth quarter. In the second quarter, the digital mortgage lender also reported a net loss of $86 million. So let's talk about that. It's the same thing with Zillow. It's the same thing with any of these large corporations. If I, John Schenk, Deerwood Realty, lose money, I go out of business. Okay? I must make a profit so that I can survive. Okay? If you're a big corporation, you can afford to lose money quarter after quarter after quarter. And as long as you have backers, this company lost between $85 and $100 million in one quarter alone. Okay, and they're still getting $750 million from another company. If John Schenk shows his balance sheet to the bank, okay, and even if I show a profit, I guarantee you they're not giving me $750 million. I guarantee you they're not even giving me $100,000. Okay, so this is the game that's being played, and this is the game that I disagree with. Companies should be able to function on their own. Now you say, well, John, what about research? Okay, what about the great job is that, they're employing lots of people, and how does it affect you in a negative way? Well, here's how it affects me. I'm competing with these people. I'm competing with corporations that lose hundreds of millions of dollars each quarter, and they have fat pocket investors behind them that are ruthless, okay, at a certain point. So at a certain point, the money will stop at these companies, okay? But it doesn't do me any good because I'm competing against them. You say, well, John, that's not fair. It doesn't sound like the playing field's level. No, it's not. No, it's not. It's never been. I don't want you to think, I'm not stupid. But just understand, there's a big difference between someone that has to make a profit every quarter, every month, and these companies that have no need to make a profit. And they'll just keep going, okay? And it says, like many of its non-bank rivals, Better, which plans to go public, and that's the real game. So we go and we lose money and we lose money and we lose money. And then when we're thinking about going public, we're going to show on the balance sheet that things are better. We're losing less money, or we're actually making some money. And then we sell it to Wall Street as, hey, don't you want to be part of a business that's making money? Like, it's going to make a lot of money and you're going to be in on the ground floor. Then you dump this stock. The minute that it goes public, everyone sells, okay? And then now we've got a bunch of other people holding this crappy company. It's just sick. It's sick, but this is the way the world works in the United States, and it's not going to change. There's no regulation that's going to change this type of thing. Now, is every company, is Theranos? Theranos was the poster child for how shit I'm sorry I said that. How bad companies are in 2020. Well, in the 2000s. But let's not waste any more time with that. So here's what I like. It says, Better said that it expects its gain on sale margin to compress, which means go even less. I just want to see this too. Has a forecasted overall slowdown as demand for refinancing dries up and the purchase business is constrained by historically low inventory. So, like, this company has got issues. Now, I'm not saying that they're going to go out of business. They just got $750 million. I'm just saying this company, Better, is a poster boy for exactly how things work in the real world. And then it says, in conjunction with the layoffs, some blank check firm and venture company announced the amendment to an earlier financing agreement will dole out $750 of a total $1.5 billion in committed funding to Better immediately. So they don't have to worry. They don't have to worry at all. The company notes that the $750 million bridge financing will push Better's balance sheet to over $1 billion of cash and equivalents. We got cash on hand, so we can burn through it. Here we go. A fortress balance sheet, one of the quotes, and a reduced and focused workforce together set us up to play offense going into a radically evolving homeownership market. Let's translate that. We're losing our behinds every quarter. We fired some people, but some more people gave us money, and that's going to allow us to change. Don't worry about the fact we had to fire people. Don't worry about the fact that we've lost money every quarter. But you know what? We're going to go on offense. We're going to go offense. Now we've got this money, we can burn through it. Then Garg said in a statement that the COVID bump had helped sustain legacy players in the industry for the past 18 months, and that's fading. And we expect a large number of our competitors to scale back their automation and vertical integration efforts. So, hey, everyone else is making money in this business, but it's not going to stay there that way forever. It's only because of COVID, and soon we're going to make our money. So, it said Better.com plan to make its public debut in the fourth quarter of 2021. However, a source with direct knowledge of the Better's plans to go public said it would be virtually impossible at this point. The S4 hasn't been declared effective, and once it is, you're probably 4 weeks at least until the vote of closing. All in, this probably is better from Better's point of view. More cash to the balance sheet, but will be interesting to see the terms of the convertible notes that may be issued after closing. It says, a recent filing noted that the fluctuations in interest rates, blame anything you can, which affects refis more than purchase business, and a recent reorganization of Better's sales and operations team has put pressure on the company's net income and will continue to do so for the foreseeable next quarter as the company attempts to find footing in a purchase market. Meanwhile, Chicago-based InterFirst Mortgage, another refi-heavy shop whose inexperienced loan officers also did not receive commissions, also announced layoffs. Of the 77 employees that will be laid off, 49 of them are loan officers. These are loan officers that are being paid a salary. They're not on commission. So then I said, well, who is Better? I don't know anything about them. It says, look, our service is about us. It says the right mortgage could save you thousands. 24/7 support. Don't care. 0 commissions and lender fees. Interesting. Single online experience. Well, how do you make money if you have 0 commissions and lender fees? Is it free? And then when you see here, it says backed by. When it says backed by American Express, KPCB, Goldman Sachs, some Chinese bank, I'm guessing, maybe it's Japanese, I don't know. Citi, Ally, SoftBank, okay? Just know what we're getting into. If GA Capital still existed, you would be able to run from that. But anyway, then it says get help with all things home. And I was like, well, that's nice. Let's see. Oh, look, Better Real Estate matches you with trusted, quote unquote, real estate agents in your area. If you work with one of our partner agents, you'll get up to $2,000 off your Better mortgage loan closing costs. So they're into the efficiency, okay? You got to understand at the end of the day what this company is about. They're going to be more efficient. And how they're going to do that? They're going to be ruthless in their work, okay? So let's close that. So now we know. So then what happened at Better? Well, this is December 6th. The happy article was December 1st. Okay. It says Better, and I just want you to understand, I don't care about the way the news is. We all know that it's totally influenced by all kinds of things, but this is CNN. So if you're gonna kick me for being on CNN, I totally get that. I'm gonna have a Fox article in a little bit. You can kick me for that too. I'm just trying to find out more information about this. So it says Better.com CEO announced the mortgage company is laying off about 9% of its workforce on a Zoom webinar Wednesday, abruptly informing the more than 900 employees on the call they were being terminated just before the holidays. So there's an unwritten rule, I guess, that says you cannot be fired before the holidays. But they had to fire these people because they were getting $750 million and they wanted to, it's ridiculous. But anyway, if you're on this call, you're part of the unlucky group that's being laid off. Your employment here is terminated effective immediately. So, hey, we're going to have a meeting. All right, let's go. Oh, by the way, you're fired. He then said employees could expect an email from HR detailing benefits and severance. Having to conduct layoffs is gut-wrenching, especially this time of the year, CFO Kevin Ryan said in a statement. It's not really gut-wrenching. You know what? He's going to go home to his mansion. He may get into his pool, and he's going to be okay, the CFO. He'll be all right. Gut-wrenching, not so much. I mean, he's gonna sleep on a bed of money tonight. He'll be fine. However, this is where it's tone deaf, though. However, a fortress balance sheet and a reduced, focused workforce together set us up to play offense going into a radically evolving homeownership market. So, hey, guess what? We're firing all these people before Christmas, but we've got a stronger balance sheet now, and we're gonna play offense. It's just bad. It's just not the way you want to do things. Okay. It's the way the world is, but it's not the way you want it to be. Garg, we talked about Garg earlier, cited market efficiency, performance, and productivity as the reason behind the firings. Fortune later reported that Garg accused employees of stealing from their colleagues and customers by being unproductive and only working 2 hours a day. It's a fascinating thing. And this is what you get in the tech world. So you get a guy, he's a CEO, can't keep his mouth shut, has to go blab on some private. We'll go into that, but it's just the way the world is. And then it says, this is the second time in my career I'm doing this. So he's done it before. He said, the last time I did, I cried. Which were on the call, which remained short and emotionless. So number one, it's never fun to fire someone. I don't think. Whenever I would I didn't watch The Apprentice, but the whole point of The Apprentice was watching Donald Trump say you're fired. I didn't like it. And especially so when I watched that guy hire people in the White House that he would praise, and then as soon as they would be absolutely awful for their positions, he wouldn't be like, you're fired. It would be just a general statement that he emailed out to the press. So the whole you're fired thing, the whole joy in firing people, I hate it. I've had to fire people in my life. Couldn't stand it. Couldn't sleep the night before. Hate it. One of the reasons why I'm in a small brokerage right now is I don't want to fire people. I don't want to go through it. It drives me insane. So anyway, the SoftBank-backed mortgage lender announced in May it was going public. And last week, it received $750 million in part of the deal. So this is like 6 days after that Zoom meeting. It says the company is prepared to have more than $1 billion on its balance sheet. So they keep doing this. They keep saying, well, we had to fire all these people, but our balance sheet is strong. The two things to me are separate. And then Garg, who's really doing well, it says, has been involved in controversy before, as evidenced by an email he sent to staff that was obtained by Forbes. You are too damn slow. You're a bunch of dumb dolphins, so stop it right now. You are embarrassing me. Then it says the Daily Beast reported in August that one of Garg's most loyal lieutenants received massive perks, such as millions of dollars worth of stock options that could be vested immediately, not comparable to other employees. That person was later placed on immediate administrative leave for bullying. So this article says that Garg has a bunch of cronies that do his bidding for him. That's what it looks like. I don't know. I've never been there. I don't know anything about it. But again, this person here has millions of dollars worth of stock options, and yet they are really upset that they had to let go of 900 people, even though now we see that there was this accusation that employees were stealing from their colleagues and customers by being unproductive and only working 2 hours a day. So that's that article on CNN. So then we go to Fortune, and it says, now this is December 3rd. This is 2 days after. So I went the day of. We fired these people right before we get money, but it's okay because we have a good balance sheet. 6 days later, I read the article that says, or the article is written that says, hey, this wasn't so great. It was over a Zoom call. 3 days after the actual day that these people were fired, December 3rd now, we get this article. I got to get a drink. Better.com CEO blasts laid off employees, accusing them of stealing by working only 2 hours a day. That doesn't sound good. Better CEO Vishal Garg publicly accused hundreds of staffers he laid off of Wednesday of stealing from their colleagues and customers by being unproductive. Garg posted a series of messages by Fortune on an anonymous professional network. See, that's where you get a little bit dicey. Days after he laid off more than 900 employees from his online mortgage company. You guys know. So here he is. Look at me. I'm the CEO, and I'm going to go on a private professional network as anonymous, and I'm going to rip these people I just fired. Because let's just talk about mentality. You fired people before Christmas, and you say, well, what difference does that make? I don't know. You fired people. You have to justify how you fired these people. And if you make them unhuman, if you make them where it's obvious in your mind to fire these people, then you feel better about yourself. Okay? So here's the quote. You guys know that at least 250 of the people terminated were working on an average of 2 hours a day while clocking in 8 hours a day in the payroll system. They were stealing from you and stealing from our customers who pay the bills, that pay our bills. Get educated. Okay? And he wrote under the username uneducated. So he's, by the way, whenever, just been my nature that when people use, we need to educate them, they have some tendencies to not be great people to be around. I'm just saying, this is what I've learned in my life at 44. So this is an interesting thing. So obviously they were monitoring their keystrokes. Now, were these people working 8 hours a day? Or were they working 2 hours a day? What was their productivity? Some people can get stuff done in 2 hours a day, where other people takes 8. I don't know. Wasn't given that information. So then in an interview with Fortune, Garg. Now, see, they say Garg. So please don't come after me for using Garg, because that's what everybody is using. He confirmed he was the user behind the account and said he stood by his comment. I stand by my comments. I think they could have been phrased differently, but honestly, the sentiment is there. Right, it should be for you, because you have to justify your firing. Very much so. So, while he expressed regret about the layoffs, he doesn't care, and said he would have liked to retain everyone for their roles, but he wouldn't have gotten the $750 million for the company if he did. Garg emphasized that it's a difficult time in the mortgage industry and it's overstaffed. The number of mortgage applications is falling as interest rates slowly rise. Well, look, this is the best market it's going to be, okay? Maybe ever, okay? So if you can't make money now and you're losing money quarter after quarter, maybe it's your business model. Now, I've only got an MBA from a local college, so I'm not a CEO, but this is the stuff that drives me insane. Maybe it's your business model. Oh, and you say, well, no, it can't be the business model because all these really, really smart people are investing in this company. I mean, we don't already have salaried mortgage lenders in the United States. I mean, it's not a new concept. But anyway, Garg's post on Blind followed a difficult week for both Better.com employees and ex-staffers of Life, 5 of which tell Fortune they were blindsided by a termination of approximately 9% of the company's staff. You should not be blindsided when people are losing money. When companies lose money, you're on the chopping block. Doesn't matter who you are. Don't be blindsided. Employees say they were particularly concerned over the tone and content of a company-wide call Garg hosted after the layoffs, in which the chief executive said he would be closely watching the productivity of the remaining workers, according to 3 employees who were on the call. His tone was extremely harsh and threatening. 2 people on the call told Fortune that Garg had said the next year would be a bloodbath. It was just very strange. The comments were disturbing. Yeah. So it's like, hey, I just fired all these people. They weren't doing their job. We're losing a lot of money, but we got a lot of money. We got a strong balance sheet. And by the way, you guys need to be careful because I'm watching you. And it might be, I don't know what it means, what this means either. He says, Garg tells Fortune it was not his intent to make anyone feel threatened and that there's no additional watching taking place. He knew that people were clocking in for 8 hours a day, but only working for 2. But somehow there's no additional watching taking place, which means they don't need to watch you because they already are. Apart from what is already required by regulations, such as recording customer calls. He did confirm the company is paying more attention to productivity data. Garg added that his bloodbath comment had been taken out of context and was in reference to the outlook for the broader mortgage market. So yeah, maybe some people that know something are a little bit nervous about how things are going. Throughout the week of terminations, many employees and their ex-staffers turned to blind. So you go, like, I got fired, I'm going to blind. I'm part of this company, so I go to blind, and we talk about it. This is not for me. This is the new world. This is just not the world I want to be in. In an effort to defend the company, Garg responded to their post with his own acerbic messages. Leave now and save us both the trouble, he retorted to one critical post on Blind. You're likely super well paid. Email me directly and we'll pay you to leave early so we don't have to sit here waiting for you to show up with your end of the work that needs to be done. And then get left holding the bag. I totally agree with that sentiment. If I'm in a business and someone's just online ripping on me, okay, I spend more time working. Maybe that sounds callous, but I do understand the sentiment. Having paid people that don't work before in my life, I can tell you that it's not great. Okay, I've experienced that. So let's keep going here. It says he said an emailed statement prior to the interview with Fortune that he went on Blind to provide some context regarding the planning and process. I don't feel like he did. He really just wanted to defend himself. He also wanted to acknowledge that we're not sure we did them right, and if people felt they were affected but actually had great performance, reach out to us. You've already fired him. Garg founded Better in 2016, digital mortgage company backed by SoftBank, Novartis Partners, Activent Capital is other. Following his recent funding, the business was valued at $7.7 billion. Okay, how can that be? You got $7.7 billion, you've been in debt, you've been running debts for a number of quarters in a row, and you just got a $750 million infusion in cash. So, during the pandemic, headquartered in New York City, ballooned in size as the housing market went in overdrive. So for these people, COVID was wonderful. It really did a good thing for them. Garg said both Better's boards and investors had been totally supportive about the layoffs and how they were handled. He declined to share which investors or board members had voiced their support. I don't blame him for that. I wouldn't. Why would a private board meeting be the domain of the news press? And then it says two current employees and an ex-staffer told Fortune that Garg is known to be erratic on Better.com's internal Slack messaging system and in company meetings. He has apologized for alleged previous aggressive comments, according to the report. I don't know. I mean, it's all in how people view you, okay? So I'm probably erratic myself. Some days I'm happy, some days I'm sad. I don't know. Are other people always happy? Or it's just one of the weird things. And then you say, well, in your position, you need to show this sort of fake leadership that makes us all happy. And hey, if that's what works for you, okay. So then we got Fox Business 17 hours ago. Better.com CEO apologized for mass layoffs. So what happened is, look, people get mass layoffs all the time. It's not good. It's not positive, but it happens. When you get the press involved, and I'm not going to kick the press today, it just magnifies it, okay? And you can't hold your ground after a while. Now, this Better.com, again, the first time I'm hearing about Better.com is not through their product, and I'm in real estate. It's not through positive word of mouth from one of my clients, or it's through, hey, did you see this guy that fired all these people on a Zoom call? Did you see it? And then, can you believe this guy? He fires all these people. They get $750 million in funding. And then he says, like, we're kind of sad about it, but you know what? It's just business, deal with it. But then he goes on this online posting place, and he's posting that, these people deserved it. I mean, see, it's not doing well with the brand. Okay. Now their brand is, look, what I like about their brand really is they don't make any sort of, statements that they're friendly or happy or good people to work with. It's mostly like, hey, we're efficient. And that might be just in the way the company's wired. This may not have been, the culture and everything else could be like this. Efficiency over, being human. Anyway, so now everything's coming at him. So here we go. Better.com, he apologizes. The apology comes as several top executives have resigned amid backlash over the controversial move. We'll get into that. Okay. Better.com CEO Garg has issued an apology for the online mortgage lenders' remaining staff amid backlash for his controversial decision to lay off 900 employees. Or now it's 15% of its workforce. It was 9%, I thought, in the other article. And then it says, I failed to show the appropriate amount of respect and appreciation for the individuals who were affected for their contributions to Better. You just said that they only worked 2 hours and were getting paid $8, and you accuse them from stealing of the company. But you need to show more respect when you fire them. I own the decision to do the layoffs, but in communicating, I blundered the execution. In doing so, I embarrassed you. You didn't embarrass anybody but kind of yourself. I realize that the way I communicated, now you're going to go on your yacht, or you're going to go to your nice house or condo in New York, and you're going to be fine, you know. But the rest of the people that are looking for jobs now are probably not so great. But you know what? They signed up for the company. They're part of it. Sometimes you get fired at part of a company. That's just the way it is. I realize that the way I communicated this news made a difficult situation worse. I'm deeply sorry, and I'm committed to learning from this situation and doing more to be the leader you expect me to be. Well, I don't know how he's going to do that. What did he learn from the situation? Hopefully that when you do a mass firing, it doesn't get in the press. I mean, that's, and see, here we go. He emphasizes the company is taking fast steps to make sure we are transparent and aligned as a company on the goals for 2022, the metrics that matter most, and how we can all work together to even better serve our customers and achieve our mission. What is your mission? Low cost financing. He said he would discuss what to expect 3 years ahead of an upcoming meeting. Well, this is just me. So I'm at this company. The CEO just fired, we don't know, I don't remember the number, on a Zoom call. He didn't do it very well. And now he said, and then he has another Zoom call where he's like, it is what it is. And we really got to be careful because there's a bloodbath, quote unquote, coming up next year. Well, let me ask you this. You just saw a bunch of people get eliminated. Do you really want to go on a Zoom call on this meeting? Do you really want to, aren't you pretty much worried that you're going to be fired every single day? I believe in you, he says. I believe in Better, and I believe working together can make homeownership better together. That's nice. The apology comes after several top executives who reportedly resigned due to the controversy, including Better.com head of marketing, Melanie Hunt. Now, I don't know the head of the marketing. I've never known the name of the head of marketing at Better.com. I didn't even know Better.com existed. But like I said, if the first time I'm hearing about you is because you didn't fire people very well, it's going to be hard to change the marketing there. Head of public relations and vice president of communications. All these people are going to have a difficult time in their jobs going forward, and so they're like, you know what? I think we'll just check out. I don't really want to be a part of this. I don't want to defend this. I just want to be out. Find somebody else to defend it. You're going to be fine, and somebody will. They'll hire these people right away. They'll pay them a good amount of money. Everything will be fine. In the call, Garg told employees that the market had changed and they have to move with it in order to survive. Nothing wrong with that. In addition to market conditions, he cited efficiency, performance, and productivity. If you're on this call, you're part of the unlucky group that's being laid off. Your employment here is terminated effective immediately. And we already went over that part. The 43-year-old Garg, who has been critical towards his staff in the past, according to Fortune, revealed to the outlet that he was the author behind a blog post in the Zoom call, which accused some of the impacted employees of stealing or working an average of 2 hours per day. So what do you think? Here, let me go back to my stuff. What do you think, though? Like, here's where I'm at, and this is what I want to talk about. Like I said, I have my MBA. I have another master's degree in real estate and construction management. I felt like a big corporation wasn't for me early on in the process because I felt it was fake. Now, if you're one of my clients that's part of a big corporation and you're fake, that's okay. I understand the game. I understand the game you're playing, and I hope it works out to your benefit. I really do. I don't wish anybody ill, okay? Just know you're part of the game and you're playing it, and most of the people that I know do. They know what game they're playing. They know how to get where they need to go in life, and good for them. I didn't want to play the game. Okay? When we talk about, John, why don't you advertise with this company? Or why don't you advertise with this company? Or why don't you spend money on this or that? Or like, why don't you take referrals from this Better.com? Look, they're supposedly a $7 billion corporation. Okay? They don't make money, but they will someday at some point, right? Everything will be good. Well, I don't want to be a part of this. Like when you want to buy a house, okay, I think it's important. You say, well, you can buy a house any day of the week. Any house is the same. But this is an argument that I want to kind of put forth, or I want to put forth this idea to you. I'm in the community, okay. All my money pretty much stays in St. Louis, okay. I work with small businesses all the time to provide services or to help provide services to my clients. When something's wrong with one of their services, you can call them directly and say, hey, this is wrong. And for the most part, people that I know, at least, or that I work with, will come out and gladly fix whatever issue you have. Try doing that with a large corporation. It's impossible. Even worse, though, I'm competing against somebody losing money every quarter who's backed by billionaires. Okay? It's not easy. So when I work with like these local vendors, and when we try to help you buy a house or sell a house, it isn't about really necessarily efficiency. Okay, I can be very efficient with buying a home or selling a home. I could pretty much cut you out of it, other than you just filling out the little signatures on the DocuSign or whatever. I could spend very little time with you, and you would buy a house, and you may or may not be happy, but it was efficient. There's people that can sell houses cheaper than I can sell houses. There's people that can represent, buyers and do a terrible job. But on that commission thing, just know that something's got to be sacrificed. There's large corporations now that have salaried agents. Hey, if that's the way you want to go, if you want to save a couple bucks or $1,000 here or something like that, go for it. Go for it. But remember that you are contributing to that world. And when it comes at you later down the road, don't be surprised. Don't be sad. Accept it and move on. That's what I wanted to explain to you today is, look, these companies are coming at they're not just in real estate. They're coming at every single. Look at the auto manufacturers. Look at the auto sales in the United States. We're promised transparency. We're promised efficiency, and what do we get? We get a car shortage in the United States of America, and we get prices that are, God, 15-20% more than they should be in the used car market, and it's efficient. They've really fixed that market. So that's, pay attention to this stuff. And then on a second tranche of the idea is this. These days when you market social responsibility. Okay. It seems to have an impact on those people in the marketplace. So if you're a coffee company, you say that your coffee is grown by only the best people, and they're never sad and they're never harmed, and they get paid all this money and they don't do erosion, and it's, growing coffee is good for the planet. All that's being done specifically for marketing. They don't give a damn about you, the person. They just want to sell more coffee. Okay, they don't care about. You say, well, they care about the earth, so they don't care about the earth. They care about profits, and if they can use some sort of charity to get ahead, they will. I guarantee you, Better.com gives money to some charity and advertises the hell out of it all the time. But just understand what's going on. Just understand, and this is what I've taken a stand against. Now, for taking a stand against this corporatism, what has it gotten me? Well, not rich. Not rich. I can sleep at night. I feel like I've done a good job with my clients. We've talked about one of the people that didn't like my services was part of the corporate fake in a big corporation. So I don't have any sympathy for them. But just know, this is why I do what I do. I try to sell houses. I try to work with buyers and sellers in a fair way. Very low barriers to communication. You can call me, you can text me. And, if I'm not driving, I'm going to call you back. These things are important to me. And these values of, if it's a mega corporation, if it's $1 billion corporation losing money every quarter, all kinds of money behind it, I'm not in that group, and I won't ever be, and I'm okay with that. So with that, I think I'm going to head out today. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. If there's any questions you might have, feel free to put it in the comments. I do pay attention, and that's all I've got for today. But I will.